So we're going to do just a quick recap on speech punctuation today. Let's look at the rules of speech punctuation then. Place the words that are spoken inside the speech marks. If you can't quite work out which are the words that have been spoken, imagine it as a speech bubble. So draw a stick man and think about the words that the stick man is actually saying. The words in the speech bubble are the words that need to go inside the speech marks. You need to always start your speech with a capital letter, and that's the first word inside the speech marks, always has a capital letter. We start a new line for every new speaker. So when somebody new starts speaking, even if you've only got one word written on the line, you go on to the next line for the new speaker. And you place punctuation at the end of the speech inside the speech marks. So if somebody's asked a question, we have a question mark and then the speech marks. Let's look at this example then. Really simple question. Can I go out? She asked. So you can see that we've started the speech with a capital letter for the word can. We've got the speech marks around the words that are being asked. Can I go out? We've got the question mark inside the speech marks. And then at the end of she asked, we've got a full stop to end the sentence. Just slightly different. We've got exactly the same thing being asked, can I go out? But instead of she asked after the question, we've got the girl said, can I go out? So here, again, if we look at the bits in black to begin with, we're still starting our speech with a capital letter, even though it's in mid-sentence. Speech marks go around the words that are actually being spoken. So we've got the words can I go out with the speech marks around them. We've still got our question mark at the end of the question. One thing we do need to remember though is to use a comma before we introduce speech mid-sentence. Okay, so the girl said, comma, can I go out? You could also use a colon just there. So a comma or a colon before we introduce speech mid-sentence. So just a quick activity to practice this then. Write out a short conversation that you've had this morning. Can be anything at all, the most boring conversation that you've had, but have a go at writing a few sentences of it out and make sure you punctuate it correctly. Now, obviously, it says swap books with the person sitting next to you. You could get someone at home to check your punctuation, or on the next slide, you'll be able to see an example and you can see if yours looks something like this. So a conversation between me and Daisy. I'm full up, said Daisy. Well, you haven't eaten enough, I replied. I can maybe manage a bit more, Daisy responded. Eat up then, I said. Really boring conversation, but we're not focusing on how interesting the conversation is. We're focusing on whether or not we've correctly punctuated it. So as you can see, all the words that have been said, either by myself or by Daisy, have got speech marks around them. We're punctuated at the end, either by a comma, a full stop, or an exclamation mark. And we've started our words that have been said with a capital letter, and we've used a new line for each new speaker.